Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the T-Ras, Chris Rasman's board of choice inspired by Travis Rice. This board is only available in 159. This board features Mervin's C2 camber profile, which is reverse camber between the feet and camber underfoot, giving you the snap and pop of traditional camber right underfoot, but the play of reverse camber between it. I rode this board at Arapahoe Basin on a day that was mostly bluebird. There were still some clouds and wind rolling through, and the snow was either firm, frozen, crispy, or creamy and chundery, and I rode this board with my K2 Thraxis boots and my K2 Indy bindings. This board comes in a little bit stiffer than middle of the road for an all-mountain freestyle board. You got a little bit of play out here at the ends of the camber zones, and then it stiffens up right to inside the inserts, and then it gets a little bit softer right where that reverse camber section is, and there's a little bit of torsional flex, but not a crazy amount. Overall though, this board is very damp and awesome at absorbing chatter, vibrations, and shock waves. It's one of those boards that if you're gonna push it, you're not gonna feel it. That's all you really need to know. The C2 camber profile is easy to engage, but you really want to load this board up to get snap, and you want to be going fast. The faster you are, the harder you load it up, the more pop you're gonna get. That's an obvious fact right there. That's how this board is designed. It's got that snap that when you load it, you're going to pop with it, but you want to be cooking when you do it. If you're going really slow, it's not going to be anything that stands out to you. Now, when it comes to jumps, this board is fully capable of small to large. I'd say even more so that it wants to hit larger jumps. But if you look at Chris Rasman and his style of riding, that makes total sense. This is a board that just amplifies when it hits the lip of a jump, and it boosts even further. This board was a bit unique with how it would butter, and by that I mean you wanted to utilize that center reverse camber. So basically you wanted it to flex on the inside of your bindings when you were pressing into it, just to accentuate that deeper press, to really get that board to elevate its tip or its tail when you were playing around with it. Speed is your friend when you're jibbing with this board. You want to be going a little bit faster. You want to press a little bit harder. The sweet spot isn't that aggressive, so you want to make sure that you're really pushing into it, and there's going to be a lot of rebound. There's going to be a lot of fight with this board. But in my opinion, it's not really a jib board. This is a jump board. This board is super nimble, edge to edge. You're going to notice that right away. It transitions very quickly and very smooth. That's where it really shines when you consider carving with it. It's one of those boards that you can lay a trench with if you have to. You can be a little more laid back if you want to. It's not one of those boards that you've got to be totally on your A game all the time. You know, you could be like on your B+ game and it's still gonna carve perfectly fine. So who's this board for? Chris Rasman, obviously, or Travis Rice, but it's also solid for anyone that wants an all-mountain freestyle board that they can really charge with that's a little more damp. It's essentially a T-Rice with a different graphic and tip shape to it. This board doesn't disappoint. It's a little on the stiffer side, but not by much. You can aggressively charge with it. You can butter with it to a point. You can jib with it to a point. It's kind of one of those boards that's a jack of all trades, but it really gravitates more towards jumping. It wasn't a bad board, just wasn't the board for me. Comparable boards: the Niche Aether, the Capita Mercury, the Ride Algorithm, although that might be a little bit on the softer side compared to this. This has been my review of the Libtech T-Ras. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you gonna buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the content we've got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you'd really like to support us and you really want to see us expand what we're trying to do over here, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. I could tell you more here, but I've got a whole video over there that'll explain it to you better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.